Hello children, very good morning. Let us start our chapter 6, our planet Earth. Now in the last class I had sent you the question answer and told you to draw some diagrams of Earth and its climate, its heat zones, latitudes, longitudes. I think you have drawn in the previous lesson. Now in this lesson, our planet Earth, we will read about the Earth and its major temperature zones, weather and climate, factors that affect the climate of a place, solar and lunar eclipse. I hope children you might have understood at least half, if not completely. Some of you might have understood a little bit of the lesson by writing the question answers. Now let me explain you about the lesson. The Earth and its major temperature zones. Now what is temperature zone, children? Temperature zone means all the parts of the Earth are not equally heat. Some are very hot, some parts of the Earth are very hot, some are slanting less hot, some are very cold. This is all due to the Earth's axis. You know, the Earth rotates on its axis and the axis is always tilted. So this tilted axis affects the temperature of the Earth. So the middle part of the Earth, that is the equatorial region, which gets direct heat of the sun throughout the year. It gets much of the heat, so therefore it remains hot throughout the year, which is called torrid zone. And above the torrid zone you find the temperate zones, both in the northern and as well as southern hemispheres. In the northern you have north temperate zone, in the southern you have south temperate zone, and the extreme north, that is towards the poles and around the poles, beyond 66.5 degree Arctic Circle in the north and 66.5 degree Antarctic Circle in the south, it is frigid zone. That means this zone is very cold and it remains frozen most part of the year. The Earth revolves around the sun. The sun is the major source of heat and energy on the Earth. So around the Earth not only rotates but it also revolves. It goes around the sun, and the sun is the major source of heat and energy. As you all know, you might have read in your science class also, science lesson also. It's the source of heat and major source of heat and energy. All parts of the Earth do not receive equal amount of heat from the sun. As I have told you, it varies from place to place. In general, the amount of heat received by the Earth decreases as we move from the equator to the poles. On the basis of the amount of heat received by the Earth, it is divided into three zones. That is torrid zone, the region of equatorial region and around it up to 23.5 degree north, that is Tropic of Cancer, and 23.5 degrees south, that is Tropic of Capricorn, it is called torrid zone. Then temperate zone, beyond torrid zone you find temperate zone in both the hemispheres, north temperate and south temperate, and then beyond the temperate zone you find the frigid zone up to the poles on both sides. Torrid zone, you know that the great circle, the same thing I am going to explain you again. The torrid zone, you know that the great circle that divides the Earth into northern and southern hemisphere is the equator. It is at the 0 degree latitude of the Earth, the line of latitude 23 degree and 30 minutes degree north of the equator is called the Tropic of Cancer. The line of latitude at 23 degree and 30 minutes south of the equator is called the Tropic of Capricorn. The area between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn receives direct rays of the sun. Hence, as you can see in the picture, you can see the vertical and slanting rays of the sun and direct rays of the sun also. The area between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn receives direct rays of the sun. Hence, this is the hottest part of the Earth and is called the torrid zone or the tropical region. The torrid zone has abundant rainfall. Abundant means plenty of rainfall. Dense forest means thick forest. Rivers and rich biodiversity due to hot and that means a lot of trees you find forest, and due to hot humid climate conditions, many parts of the torrid zone remain hot throughout the year. This helps the growth and survival of a rich variety of flora and fauna. Flora means plant life and fauna means animal life. Due to dense forest and lot of trees there is good flora and fauna in the torrid zone. The southern part of India lies within the tropical zone. So the northern part, Tropic of Cancer, passes in the northern. It divides our country into two equal halves, that is north and south, and the southern part, that is southern part, south of India, lies between 8 degree and 4 minutes to 37 degrees 6 north latitude, and 68 degree and 7 minutes to 97 degree and 25 minutes east longitude. This is what the location of the our continent. Our country India. Temperate zones. In the northern hemisphere, the temperate zone lies between the Tropic of Cancer 23 degree 30 minutes north and the Arctic Circle 66 degree 30 minutes north. And 30 minutes you can also call as half, 66 and half degree and 23 and a half degree. And in the southern hemisphere, it lies between the Tropic of Capricorn 23 and half degree south and the Antarctic Circle 66 degree and half and 30 minutes or half degree south. Hence this region has moderate climatic conditions. Moderate means children means not too hot nor too cold. The climate is moderate, that is what medium. Such an average rain and warm and cool temperatures. Temperate regions receive the slanting rays of the sun as the earth is spherical in shape and the latitude keeps on increasing towards the poles. Latitude from 0 degree, that is equator, as you go towards the pole, it increases from 0 to 90 degree north and 0 to 90 degrees south. The temperature zones receive the slanting rays of the sun. Spring, summer, autumn and winter are the 4 seasons in the temperate zones. So those countries located in the temperate zones, that is, you can see the yellow color zone is called temperate zones, and the red color or orange color is known as equator or the torrid zone, and blue color is the polar regions, frigid zones. Frigid zone in the northern hemisphere, the area between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole, and similarly in the southern hemisphere, the areas between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole are called the frigid zones. Very cold. It remains frozen throughout the year. These regions are very cold and receive very little sunlight. The frigid zones are the coldest regions on earth and are generally covered with ice and snow. So I hope children you might have understood up to this. And the diagrams, what is given here, torrid zone, temperate zones, frigid zones. Have you drawn, children? I had asked you to draw while giving the answers. So I think you all are good children, you might have drawn it. So if you have drawn it, really it will help you children for your exam. So if you haven't drawn it, then you can draw again. Now let us read about weather and climate. Now weather is the condition of the atmosphere of a certain place at a certain time. It is never constant and keeps on changing. What do you mean by constant? Never the same. Climate keeps on, weather keeps on changing. It is a condition of the atmosphere of a certain place at a certain time. Means all the places do not have same type of weather all times, but certain places at certain times have the weather conditions, and weather keeps on changing. You can see nowadays the weather is sometimes sunny, sometimes cloudy, sometimes rainy. This is what is called weather. The weather can be hot at one time and cloudy at other time of the day. Some other examples of the weather conditions are sunny, warm, hot, cloudy and rainy. Main factors which influence the weather of a place are temperature, pressure, humidity, wind and sunshine. Looking at these factors, experts can forecast the weather conditions of a place. In a weather forecast given in the newspaper or on a television news channel, the weather person forecasts the temperature, rain and wind conditions for that day or the next day, and in some cases for even the coming day. Even you can get this forecast in your mobile also. Nowadays it is very easy to find the weather forecast. It is given in newspaper as well as television, in your mobile. So you can know about the weather, whether the weather is going to be sunny or windy or rainy or snowy or cloudy. Climate refers to the characteristic weather conditions of a certain place that occurs over a long period of time. The climate of a place is measured by the weather statistical data that is collected over a period of 25 to 30 years. Like weather, it also uses parameters like temperature variation, atmospheric pressure and wind movement. For instance, India has a tropical monsoon type of climate. This means it has hot and rainy summers and mild winters. So climate is different from weather. The climatic condition of a place, we calculate and tell for a period of time, that is 25 to 30 years. The climate of India is generally, we speak that climate of India is hot. That is most of the time it is hot, it remains hot. Like weather, it also we calculate, we also use parameters like temperature variation, atmospheric pressure, wind movement. For instance, India has a tropical monsoon type of climate. Tropical hot, monsoon means rainy. So hot and rainy type of climate. This means it has hot and rainy summers and mild winters. Mild means less winters. Winters are not so very cold. They are very less cold, and they remain for less time of the year. Now coming to the weather conditions of in this picture, you can find page number 62. In this picture, in the top, you can find the weather condition some of a week given here. So by seeing the picture, you can tell the maximum temperature. If you can read the numbers clearly, you see 25 degrees Celsius on Sunday. I think that is the maximum temperature. And which is the minimum temperature, children? I think it is not so clear for me. I think you can see 8 degree, that is Friday. It is the temperature is very less. The temperature is very less. That means it is very cold. And Sunday it is hot. So you can by seeing the readings, you can write the maximum temperature, minimum temperature, name of the rainy day, on which day it is rainy. You can see the cloud cover and the sun, and the rain also shown in the picture. So on which day it is rainy, children? By seeing the picture you can tell. And name of the cloudy day, which is very cloudy, I think Monday or any other. Cloudy means Wednesday, or it can be Monday, or it can be Tuesday, and rainy is Friday, I think. Solar and lunar eclipse. Now you might have heard, children, we say Chandra Grahana and Surya Grahana. Solar means Surya Grahan, and solar eclipse means Surya Grahan. Lunar eclipse means Chandra Grahan. And which day solar eclipse occur? Solar eclipse occur on the new moon day, and lunar eclipse occur on the full moon night. In our solar system, the earth revolves around the sun and the moon revolves around the earth. Now see, at the same time, when the earth revolves around the sun, it takes for one revolution of 1 year, it takes, that is 365 days. And the moon also revolves around the earth for about 27 days or 28 days it takes. That is 1 month we calculate according to our lunar calendar. Now at the same time, the moon also revolves around the earth, while the sun revolves, sorry children, very sorry, while the earth revolves around the sun. Sometimes when the moon, the sun and the earth come in a straight line and block the view of one of the other, an eclipse occurs. Now on the eclipse day, that is new moon day, when there is solar eclipse, we do not get to see the whole sun for some time, or the part of a sun, we do not get view. And at the same time, in the full moon night, sometimes we do not get to see the moon totally, or we sometimes see partial moon or little bit of moon. That is called lunar eclipse. If total moon cannot be seen, then it is called total eclipse, total lunar eclipse. The moon is a natural satellite of the earth. If it takes an average of 28 days for the moon to revolve around the earth. Revolve means to move around the earth. How many days? 28 days the moon takes to revolve around the earth. During a solar eclipse, the moon comes between the sun and the earth. As you can see, solar eclipse diagram is given. The moon is in between the sun and the earth. Then what happens? Whose shadow falls on whom? At this position, the moon blocks. Moon blocks what? Sunlight from reaching the earth. This state is called solar eclipse. That means the shadow of the moon falls on the earth, and that part we do not get to see the sun for some time. That is called solar eclipse. A lunar eclipse occurs when the sun, earth and the moon are in the same alignment or line or plane. At this time, the earth comes between the sun and the moon and blocks the sunlight from reaching the moon. The earth's shadow falls on the moon, which results in a lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse happens on a full moon night. You can see the picture clearly. Lunar eclipse, you see the earth is bigger object than this moon. So when this bigger object obstructs the moon, what we see? We do not see the moon in the night. This is what is called lunar eclipse. So I hope children you might have understood. If you will read again, you will understand much more better. So you might have drawn also solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. Get ready, practice well for your coming exam. So let me stop here children. Bye. Okay.